Hey guys, I'm back to you guys with a little trick or a tip that I found on eBay. And if you're a TIG welder, you're always trying to find some way to sharpen your tungsten. And a good grinding wheel would work, but the problem with that is that the wheel will get contaminated from time to time. So I've been searching around, and they make these tungsten grinders now. And I didn't want to go out and spend $300, okay? So I did my research, and this particular tool is just your basic Dremel tool, okay? And this deal here attaches to this threaded insert. It's a 3/4 by 12 thread. It goes on pretty much most Dremels. You just got to make sure if you have a Dremel tool, it's already there. But this tool right here, as you can see, it has a diamond wheel, has a mandrel, but right here has all your different tungsten sizes, but at the same time, they are different angles. If you want to go out and look them up, they're on eBay. You could probably find them on the internet. It's made here in the US, which I strongly support, and it's called Tungsten Mate. It's pretty well made. It's made out of like an ABS, but it also has, as you can see, that little groove in there. So that's made for when you contaminate your tungsten. It's a diamond wheel. You could stick it in there and it blitzes it off. So you could start fresh and then resharpen. My Dremel, this Black & Decker, it has 3 speeds. So whatever's comfortable for you. It also comes with this little packet. Comes with 2 extra diamond wheels and an Allen wrench. But for the price of it, for 70, I think it's like 69 bucks, 70 bucks. If you already have a Dremel, you just save $200 instead of buying a brand new tungsten grinder from Eastwood or from your local welding store. But it's worked out pretty good for me. I'll show you a piece of tungsten that I sharpened, and it sharpens it at the angle. I don't know if you could see that. As you can see, I mean, it's perfect, and it grinds it in the flow of the tungsten. If you grind it like this on a wheel going downward, it creates the gas to swirl. You want the gas to kind of follow around your tip, but kind of go straight down. So it's kind of basic machining. You're going against the grain. So as it sharpens it like down the cone, which is pretty cool. And then each one is a different degree. So if you go over to Tungsten Mate and check them out, I think it's a 10, a 15, a 20, and a 22.5 degree angle on your tungsten. So you have multiple choices to do that, but I strongly recommend it. It's a lot better than a grinding wheel that can get contaminated, and then you try to use it on your welder, and then you start welding, and then it basically contaminates the metal again. So I did that for a long time, just using a wheel designated strictly for tungsten. But after getting this, it's nice because you plug your Dremel into your welder, which on this welder, it never came with a 110 receptacle. So I went in and I wired one in. So on this machine, I can definitely just plug it in. So wherever I'm welding, I've got my tungsten grinder with me. I could also, on my big welder, my Lincoln, it already has one in the front. Most welders will. So I could plug it in there if I'm using this one to sharpen my tungsten. So if you guys are in the market of figuring out how you're going to sharpen your tungsten, go check it out. It's definitely an inexpensive item. It could help you greatly, and it save you a ton of time. So like if you're underneath the car or something like that, or inside the motor bay like I was just a while ago, and you contaminate your tungsten by touching down on the material or the rod hits it or something like that, you can just grab that, it's corded, go ahead and put it, grind your tungsten, put it back in, and go right back to work. You don't have to get out of the motor bay or wherever you're at, walk clear over to a grinding wheel. Saves you time, and we all know time is money. So if you guys are in the market, do your research. There is a knockoff of that brand. and if you go to Tungsten Mate, they actually have a little description of what the knockoffs look just like theirs, but they just stick in the tungsten. It's not at different angles. So each one's at a different angle. So if I want a particular angle, say 22.5, well, this one here says 22.5. So I would take out my 16th tungsten, put it over here, and then I change the angle of whatever tungsten I want. But so far, this diamond wheel, I think, is gonna last quite a long time, because so this one here comes in and it's a 16th, so it's gonna grind up close to the mandrel. This one is kind of a little bit further away from the mandrel and so forth. So this one out here is right on the edge of the diamond wheel. So if you keep sharpening 16th tungsten, you're gonna wear out the inside of the wheel. But if you're sharpening multiples, you're going all the way across that wheel multiple times. You're not staying in one groove, which in a grinding wheel, it tends to create a groove when you're sharpening the tungsten, because it wants to run away from you. Once you create that groove, it kind of just stays there, and it's a little bit easier to sharpen. But that's a little tip that I've kind of came across. It works great. Strongly recommend you guys go over and check them out. Made my life easier, and it'll make your life easier too. Little tip that I came across, and I figured I'd share it with you guys.